Hey social media, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of VGC Prep. Today's episode is against Mega Gladiator? I think that's right. For the PDL, Pokemon Doubles League, for those of you who are not aware. And what that is it is a draft-based league where we go through, each person drafts a Pokemon in each round, and then once that Pokemon is drafted, you cannot get it ever again unless you want to trade or that person drops it. So, basically this battle, he brought Dragonite Lucario, which has to be his Mega, Zapdos, Roserade, Skarmory, and Rotom Wash. Now, I brought the bottom Pokemon. Now, to be quite honest, I don't remember if I brought Dragalge or not, but we're just gonna go for it. It makes sense. I drafted it. I feel like it would make sense against this team, but looking at the Dragonite, I didn't really want to bring Dragalge. I mean, it had some uses here and there, but in general, I didn't think it had too much use. So, for the first battle, I figured getting up Trick Room would be good. He didn't really have too much in the way of hurting Mega Mawile. That's why I'm glad I was round 3, so I went for Mega Mawile lead with Porygon 2, which I felt was pretty good. We'll see what he sends out, and it's going to actually be the Dragonite and the Zapdos. So I know Zapdos gets Heat Wave, but I was pretty confident in my ability to survive it. So I wasn't too concerned. We do get pressure from the Trace. I was really hoping for a multi-scale, but that didn't happen. Because multi-scale definitely would have been loads better. But either way, you know, I also know that Dragonite gets Earthquake, so I know that a combo of Earthquake and Heat Wave will probably take out my Mawile. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go for Protect. Just to scout out what he does and get the chance to get Trick Room up with Porygon 2. He has no real way of stopping the Trick Room from getting set up in this lead matchup, so for me that's pretty solid. Now he actually goes for Bulldoze, which I found an interesting choice because I do know that Dragonite gets Earthquake, I think. I'm pretty sure it does. And my team is very, very obviously Trick Room, so and I have no way of hiding it. It's like everything is base 80 or lower. It's most definitely Trick Room. So Bulldoze was an interesting choice. But what I do here is I just try attack into the Dragonite. I want to just break its multi-scale and take it out with Player Off. Now I probably did not have to do that. I think my Player Off would one-shot it regardless, but I just wanted to be safe in case it was weakness policy. Now he does go for Heat Wave, and it does a lot more than I thought it would, which is very unfortunate because I was expecting us to survive at a little more into the yellow, but because of where we are at, I had to switch out because of the impending Bullet Punch, which would probably take me out from that range, especially since it's not a -1. So I pull a switch out into Torkoal because, you know, it's definitely on my best switch in for Lucario. But unfortunately, Rotom Wash comes out, and honestly, my team doesn't really have very much in the way of beating Rotom Wash. You know, Dragalge can hit it pretty hard. Mawile can hit it pretty hard, especially if it's not like that special Rotom that, you know, I don't know, that's designed to take it. So he's going to switch out because, you know, my Flamethrower is pretty obvious. But I kind of figured, well, is it this turn? I don't know. It's been a while since I've had this battle. No, yeah, I just go straight for the Flamethrower. You know, I can't let a threat like Lucario stay there. It still does a decent chunk considering that, you know, I am max special attack here. And I want it to be max special attack. But he goes for Hydro Pump, and I am Assault Vest. However, that does a lot more than I was really expecting it to. So since I still have Trick Room up, I'm going to go for Explosion, because, you know, I'm not going to be taking anything out here, and that's honestly my best way of taking anything out. Unfortunately, I do believe I am negative natured, so I probably am not. I'm probably not. Now that I think about it, because I'm probably negative speed. But I went for the Rotom here because I actually really expected that Explosion to take out the Zapdos, so it was kind of a waste of a turn for me. Which is really unfortunate, but he does end up getting a burn on my Porygon 2, which, like I said, it is very unfortunate because I could have definitely used to take out that Zapdos. That would have been very useful for me. So he's going to Volt Switch into the Lucario here, which still kind of puts me in a bad position now that I'm missing out on my Torkoal. because Torkoal is definitely the best for that, and Trick Room goes out. So what I do is I actually bring in my Electros, because I figured, you know what, Electros is going to be pretty solid here. He goes for Bullet Punch, and I'm kind of thinking he maybe didn't see Trick Room go out there, because honestly, close combat would have been a better choice. I go for Fire Punch here. I don't take it out, but I do get the opportunity to set up Trick Room. I went for it just in case he didn't want to take out the Porygon 2. The Porygon 2 does end up going down here, but still, I do have my Mega Mawile out. So my best play really is to just try and take out this Lucario, because it has priority, of course, and then try and take out the Rotom. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, he does switch in the Zapdos to basically is just fodder, because obviously I'm going to protect this turn, which is really unfortunate. That was a very good play on my opponent's part. And I just go for Fire Punch. You know, Drain Punch would have killed too. Anything would have killed. I'm pretty sure it only had 1 HP left. Or 3. Something, I think he said 3. And he does go for Hydro Pump, which will do a decent chunk to my Electros, but doesn't actually take me out, which I found pretty interesting. I know it's super effective against Torkoal, but I was running max HP Assault Vest. So I can't protect this turn. I mean, I could if I really wanted to try it, but honestly, my best bet was to go for the Play Rough, because had I gotten both moves off, I definitely would have won that game. So that is going to be a loss for me, as you will see. He does go for Hydro Pump, but misses, but it doesn't really matter, because I have to go for Drain Punch, because I'm not going to take it out with Wild Charge, so I need to get as much HP back as I can. Kind of hoping for a miss. I know, but I am hoping for a miss. But he does actually hit me, so that is a little unfortunate there. But that's only the first game. It's best 2 out of 3, so what we're going to do is we're going to get straight into that second battle, because it's right here. And this time, you know, I figured because of the Lucario and all that, my best bet would actually probably be to be starting off with Togekiss. Now, that may sound a little strange, expecting a Lucario, but the main thing there is that if he started off with Dragonite, basically, he's not going to be able to go for Earthquake or Bulldoze, because he'll be hitting his Lucario. So that's kind of what I went for. So he Mega Evolves here. I was kind of hoping, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can survive a Bullet Punch, you know, I'm pretty sure. So I kind of just hope, you know, maybe he's not going to go for it. You know, he's at -1, so that's a plus for me, or a negative for him. So I'm just going to Mega Evolve and Play Rough. I'm just going to go straight for the Play Rough onto the Rotom Wash. I figured, you know, he's probably just going to Bullet Punch me, and at -1, it really does not do nearly enough. And the cool thing is that I'm running red card, so once he hits me, he actually gets forced out, and he gets forced out right into Dragonite, which is great, because that's a good matchup for me. I do Air Slash, because, like I said, I wanted to break the multi-scale, but he avoids the Play Rough. Now, the Dragonite does go for Extreme Speed here, which I found out in this battle is actually faster than Follow Me, which is something that I didn't really expect. I thought Extreme Speed was +2 speed, and Follow Me was +3, so that kind of confused me a little bit. But I do take the burn, which allows me to one-shot that Rotom, which is awesome. So in comes Lucario, and of course he goes for Follow Me, which I don't know if it really mattered, because I think I actually just targeted down the Lucario this turn regardless. Yeah, I do believe I just targeted down the Lucario this turn, simply because I figured, you know what, it's a bigger threat, you know, and I figured it would just try and take out my Togekiss, so I just went for that. So it turned out to be a pretty good turn for me, because I just literally one-shot that thing. And I was looking at the rest of his team, trying to think what would be the best, and I brought in Electros, because he could hit a bunch of things. And I go for Protect here, because I'm expecting a Bulldoze, and he can't really hit my Mawile. I was expecting a Bulldoze Heat Wave combo, especially since I don't have Trick Room up. And I was correct with that, so it was a good prediction on my part. And I'll just let my Mawile survive a few more turns. I do go for Knockoff here just to get rid of its item. I wasn't really sure what it was running, and we find out it's running Choice Specs, which is nuts. which is why it did so much damage before. And then he goes for Bulldoze, and what's really cool about this is I don't think it took me out here. No, yeah, and that's kind of why I really didn't understand why he's running Bulldoze. It doesn't really do a lot of damage, and Earthquake most certainly would have taken me out. So it was a very odd choice in my opinion, but still a pretty good choice, good idea to bring. So obviously I needed to break the multi-scale veil. Wow. There, because it isn't a one-shot, which is why I was kind of glad that I did that the first match. Excuse me, because had he had weakness policy, which at this point we didn't really, we actually never found out what he was running. Had he been running weakness policy, you know, that would have been a problem for us. So that's the second battle. We're gonna get into the third battle. I decided to keep the same lineup. It worked for me. I just would have to play around him pretty well. So in comes Lucario and Roserade, which is a first for our matchup. And I think I have a pretty solid lead matchup here. Roserade could have Hidden Power Fire, and I'm pretty sure it's going to. But what's really cool here is we actually break its White Herb, which is awesome because, you know, it's not gonna really be able to recover from a Leaf Storm if it wants to go for that. So obviously, you know, we're both going to Mega Evolve first because that is the rule. If you don't Mega Evolve and the game is over, regardless of you winning, you will lose. So he actually goes for me first here, and I was like, oh no, he's going for flinches. He's going for flinches. I'm not really sure what he thought I was doing. Maybe he expected Air Slash, but that didn't really do anything, and that actually let me shoot him out of there, which is awesome because Lucario can be a problem. So that I'm just kind of glad I was able to get rid of that. And he actually goes for Extra Sensory, which kind of led me to believe he didn't have Sludge Bomb. And I just go for Air Slash on it, and it does a pretty decent chunk. And I just go for Play Rough on the Lucario spot. Wasn't expecting him to be... honestly, I always forget about Red Card. It's kind of a crazy thing. I do always forget about Red Card. But I go for Protect here because I was kind of expecting him to either go for Bulldoze or Hidden Power Fire. And he actually does. I don't know if it's Hidden Power Fire or not. I wrote down Hidden Power Fire because that's really all that makes sense. And I make a really bad play here. I really should have taken out the Roserade, but I thought Air Slash would be enough for the Dragonite, and unfortunately it wasn't. So I was like, oh, come on. But I have to switch out here because Extreme Speed will outspeed me. And I can't Protect, so I actually just stay in. And Hidden Power Fire really doesn't do a lot. Which kind of leads me to believe that this isn't a Technician Roserade. If it was Technician, it would definitely do a little bit more than that. And I just go for Iron Head on the Roserade because, like I said, I'm not too concerned about the Dragonite. It can do whatever it wants. If it wants to Bulldoze, go ahead and go for Bulldoze. I have Torkoal. I can survive the Bulldoze. We know at the range we're at right now we can survive the Bulldoze, so I'm really not concerned at all. I'm just going to stay in and go for Flamethrower on Lucario, just get rid of that. Like I said, I probably should have been targeting the Dragonite this entire time, but I really wasn't too concerned. But then in comes the Rotom Wash, and I know this thing's going to burn me. You know, he's just going to go straight for that burn. But I'm not too worried because I still have base like 105 attack, so I'm still going to hit pretty hard. You know, it's not super crazy. I'll survive the Bulldoze, so it's not super crazy. And I'm trying to think, you know, what my best play would be. You know, I'm in a bad position. My team doesn't really have anything for Rotom Wash. So I just go for the Play Rough on the Rotom Wash, and I Fire Spin it. Simply because I just wanted to get some good damage off on it. Now, I probably could have gone for Explosion. That might have been a better play, because it would have been at a much lower HP range. But unfortunately, I didn't do that. So, oh well, you know. We found out previously that this Rotom isn't too physically offensive, you know. I do go for Protect here, just kind of hoping maybe he'll go for the Hydro Pump on the Mawile. Doesn't happen. I did go for... excuse me. Wow, I'm very tired. I did go for the Explosion that turn, which obviously was very helpful. But, yeah. So, I still have Electros in the back. I still have a turn left with Mawile. Oh no, wait. Oh man, I still have 3 Pokemon left. My bad. I go for Follow Me here because it's my only chance of beating this Rotom. And, you know, it actually goes for Will-O-Wisp, which is unfortunate, so that's like a waste of a turn for me. I probably could have just doubled into the Rotom here and most likely taken it out with Air Slash. I know it might not have actually, now that I think about it. But my Mawile does go down. He's going to be able to take me out with an extreme speed. So now I'm in a position where, like, I probably should have just taken out the Dragonite. Honestly, if I just went for the Dragonite there, it would have been pretty good. Because obviously I'm going to be going for Follow Me. You know, had I just Air Slash the Dragonite, I would have taken it out. And then I would have been able to fight this Rotom a little bit better. So that is very unfortunate for me. He does Pain Split me there. I will go for Drain Punch, which does a decent amount of damage. Not enough, but I obviously cannot beat this Dragonite, so that's pretty much going to be the game right there. Like I said, I probably, instead of Follow Me-ing, I don't even know, using Follow Me, there we go. I probably should have just gone for the Air Slash on the Dragonite, and I would have come out a little bit cleaner. I probably would have won. So I just take out the Dragonite, so it's less of a it's less of a differential hit, and it actually, and it ends up being a -0 for me because I won the second game 2-0. So, you know, and he won both games 1-0. So for me, it wasn't an increase, and for him, it wasn't an increase. So it was pretty good for us. So either way, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Peace. She does crit both of my Pokemon, but doesn't take either one of them out, so it was kind of awesome there. And the damage roll there was pretty